Hey everyone, this is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And I start my show off always the same way with gratitude, and I'm thankful to be here. It's a beautiful day in Trinidad and Tobago, warm, hot, however you want to describe it. It's sunny and beautiful. And I am so thankful to be above ground, alive, and thankful. And I'm wishing the same for everyone around the world. I have with me a lovely young lady, Elizabeth Pampalone. Is that the correct way to pronounce your name?
Yes, it is.
Very good. So I did well on the first try. So Elizabeth. So I want to tell you a bit about Elizabeth, but before I do, let me tell you what we're talking about. 6 to 12 months of social media in a day. So if you start today, you have a little more than 6 months for the rest of the year, but start today for a whole year and you'll be able to know what to do. And we're going to learn a few tips from Elizabeth today. So let me tell you a bit about her and we'll go straight into the discussion. Elizabeth Pampalone is an engaging speaker, successful entrepreneur, master networker, and trusted business advisor with over 20 years of experience. And she looks like 20, so I know she's not telling the truth. Her firm Beyond the Cause Inc. helps overwhelmed business owners, yes, and we are, and burnt out nonprofit directors to achieve success and freedom through the power of absolute marketing. Welcome, Elizabeth, to Between the Lines.
Well, thank you for having me.
Your target audience is on point, especially in this time of COVID, where everybody was, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but some companies who were traditional and even some who probably were online, I've noticed, were not prepared. They just were caught and the rug was pulled from under their feet and they were tumbling, rolling down. Crazy, yeah. Crazy. So I want you to be able to share some tips, especially with social media, because it's online, it's digital marketing, and it could help a lot of businesses to traditional as well as those who are online that were not prepared to kind of build back their audience or to attract a new audience. And having a plan for 6 to 12 months can help them do so. But my confusion is 6 to 12 months of social media in a day. Explain that.
So a few years ago, when I was working on my own business, I developed the system that I'm going to share with you. And it really helped me to have a consistent presence online because we all know that, being consistent is one of the major keys to actually being successful online.
Yes.
So this really does.
Can I stick a point there? That word consistency. We need to learn to spell it. We need to learn to eat it, drink it, sleep with it. It requires such a discipline. And I want you to also share tips on consistency because I need it myself.
Yeah, so this is a way for us to be consistent with social media and only have to do it one time. So if you do it 6 months at a time, you do it twice a year. Mm-hmm. If you do it 12 months at a time, you do it one time a year. So this really takes that off of our plate and also off of our minds and that pressure off of us to be consistent when we can actually do that right off the bat, up front, and kind of get it off our plate out of the way.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Let's hear all about it. I'm eager. I'm listening, Elizabeth.
So the first thing we do is we create a weekly schedule. And that schedule is going to be our weekly topics. We might have Man Crush Monday where we talk about, maybe there's like your hairstylist and you have men's hairstyles you put up. Maybe you do Topic Tuesday or Tip Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. Maybe you have Flower Friday. I had a wedding planner who did a different flower every week and she just posted what was in season. And then we also do things like Small Business Shout Out Saturday. Sometimes we do Inspirational Monday, so it just depends on what day of the week it is. And you can put whatever topic you want to it that pertains to your business.
Question, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So you mentioned some nice themed days. Theme, Themed, if I spell that correctly. And I love that. And I encourage persons to do that. So it keeps them motivated. That's the first thing, to keep doing it. So if it's motivational Mondays, you curate your motivational quotes or whatever it may be that you post every Monday. Now, what would be your recommendation in terms of frequency of posting? Is it once a week on those theme days? Because you mentioned a number of theme days based on the business. Could a business have more than one? So a barber shop or a hairdressing salon or whatever it may be, an agricultural place. Could they do more than one day in the week? Is that recommended? And
Yes.
especially considering consistency and putting things in place, doing it once for the rest of the year. Tell me.
Yes. So you want to set up your whole week. Some of my businesses say we only want to be seen Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's good for us. That's what our people are on sporadically. They're not on every single day. Then there are other businesses where they want to be seen every single day. So you set your week up with Monday, Wednesday, Friday theme days, or maybe Monday through Friday theme days. One of my clients does Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and another one of my clients does Monday through Saturday and just skips Sunday.
Okay.
So
question again. I'm going to be interrupted because I know this is a topic that everybody has a lot of questions, and I'm trying to ask the questions that most people will ask. You mentioned a while ago that the clients or the audience, the target audience of a particular business is online on this particular day. How do you discover which are the best days to post in order to get greater engagement?
So at first you want to start off with Monday through Friday for most businesses.
Okay.
Some businesses that actually do business on the weekends, then you would include that as well. Some of my clients, I actually do Sunday to Saturday, like the whole week, every single day. So you start off with that. And then once you have a few months that are already in the, analytics of Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is you're using, then you go back and you see where your high points are. But you have to start with something very like, okay, well, we're open Monday through Friday, so we're going to start with Monday through Friday. We're open Sunday to Saturday, so we're gonna start with that. So you just kind of start with whatever your office hours are, your business hours are, and then you narrow it down from there for the next set of the session that you create. But
so you kind of do a pilot. You kind of do a pilot. You do a pilot, like you sort of to see what the
you might do
is.
3 months or 6 months, or you might even do a whole year and just see how it goes and really get a lot of data from that. So then that's only part of it, though. That's your base layer. We start with those days first, and we don't even create any content for that yet. We just start with those topic titles for each day. And then what we do is we actually go and we find holidays. There are all kinds of holidays, taco holidays, federal holidays, there are specific health holidays if you're in that space. There's specific business holidays if you're in that space. There's also specific charity holidays if you're in that space. So you want to look for holidays that really pertain to your business, and that your customers would appreciate. Like we have a client who runs book fairs for children, and they put up a lot of library holidays and author birthdays and things like that. So those would be like holidays that would be related to them.
So outside of the regular Monday to Friday, depending on when your business hours are, business days, you can do additional add value with holidays that pertain to your business.
Right. So we actually start with the topics first, but we don't create any posts for them yet. Then we find the holidays, and we actually start putting them in our calendar first. We want to fill the holidays in first, because the holidays can be on any single day of the year. It doesn't matter what day it is. So we want to fill those in on our calendar first. Then we go back to our calendar and we say, okay, what else can we put in here? We can put in birthdays of our staff, maybe the date we became organized as a business. We can put like our anniversary on there. We can put in events, like if you're going to be at an event and be selling something, or you're going to be speaking somewhere, you can put those on, if you already know them in advance, and we put all that on there too, because that can be also on any day. It can be random. So once we have some of those days filled in, now maybe we only have room, instead of for 52 Mondays, maybe we only have room for like 45 Mondays, because some of those Mondays have already been filled in for us, which is good, because now we don't have to worry about them. So then what we do is we go back to our little calendar we made of our week, and we say, okay, how many Mondays do I need? And so instead of sitting there going, I have to create 365 posts, we've just filled in a bunch of days with holidays, birthdays, known events. And now we just go back to our calendar with our week, and we say Monday, we might only need 45 Mondays. And then we actually focus on all the Mondays at one time. That gives you 12 months of social media Mondays that are done. And if you want to do half of that, it's about 27. So it's a really short number compared to thinking 365.
Yeah, when you kind of do the reverse engineering. But here's the other question as we're on this point. How would you know which social media platform that is best used for the various posts and engagement? There's so many out there. I know the top three that people may use, let's say Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Those are the top three, I think.
Yeah.
People will use Instagram, and then you have to look at the kind of people that would hang around Instagram. I think it's a younger crowd. Twitter is kind of fast. You mightn't get as much engagement. How would you be able to determine where, I guess, where your audience hangs out, where they like to? Are they spending more time on Facebook, or are they more in the professional crowd with LinkedIn that you could probably just dedicate only to LinkedIn? Because social media is a monster, you know, Elizabeth, it's a monster. Yeah. And each one is a monster. So you have Facebook monster, Twitter monster, LinkedIn monster, Instagram monster, Pinterest monster, all the monsters. And you're like, oh my God, this is too much. You know, how do you drill down or segment to such a niche in terms of your social media marketing that you can say, I'm just going to focus on LinkedIn alone. That's where my people are. I'm just going to focus on that. Because when social media came out a few years ago, everybody thought they had to be on everything. And then they realized, oh my God, I'm suffering from overwhelm and anxiety and I can't do this, and consistency is through the window. So I still want people to understand that they don't have to do everything. And even if somebody's like, aren't you on Instagram? You're not supposed to feel bad if you're not on Instagram.
Well, there's a formula for that as well, because really have to know your target audience first. And if you haven't done a good branding session and you haven't gone through that process of knowing who you're actually targeting, then you're really going to be falling short on this, and you're not going to really know which one to pick. So once you've chosen your target market and you know exactly who you're selling to, you know who they are, you know what they like, you know their age range, their gender, demographics, all that stuff about them. And you'll know the basics, right? I mean, like I said, you'll know age, demographics as far as like age, race, you know, where they live, what they do for a living, or they play, that kind of stuff, right? So once we know those few things about that person that we're trying to sell to, then we go to Google, really. I actually wrote this in a book that I wrote about social media. And it is basically, there's a list of all the social medias, and every year they put out a new list, and it's random websites that do this. They do the research and they say, okay, so this year for 2020, Instagram, the demographics for Instagram are women under 35, and it's mostly women. So if that's your part of your target market, then Instagram should be great for you. But if
that's in your book, that's in your book, or you find this somewhere?
Yes, I wrote this in my book because I know it's such hard information to find. Sometimes you have to really dig, but this information is out on the internet as well.
Okay.
So you can get it either place. But then there's also a thing like says, let's say Twitter. Let's pick that one, for example. That's actually men under 35. And
Really?
the people that are on there are only on there for about 2 to 3 minutes a day. Whereas with Facebook, people are on there about 20 plus minutes a day, but it's an older demographic and it's mostly women. So we've got this really interesting dynamic of all these different platforms. And if you can match up, here's my target market, and I can match up, okay, which ones does my target market fall within and which ones are definitely outside of that, you can pick typically 2 to 3 that are right inside that target market with maybe a little fringe on the outside, and really get to your target market without having to do all that overwhelming stuff that we talked about. The other thing is, the reason I tell people to do this kind of formula for their social media and to really just knock it out in one day is because people actually, your posts do not last that long on social media. With Facebook, for example, it's about 20 minutes of life for each post. So if you spend an hour writing a post and agonizing over what it says and how it looks and all this stuff, you've actually wasted a ton of time, because your post may only live for 30, 40, 20 minutes online before it gets buried with everything else and really never seen again. So it's very an interesting thing. And I have that also listed in my book as all the what's called half-life of a post, how long it actually lives on social media, which gives you an idea of how long you should actually spend writing each one.
Wow. This is a lot. I'm going to switch to your book a little later down in the episode so we can show persons how to get a copy of your book. But I'm going to ask you if you can do something for me, Elizabeth. I want you to be able to share your screen. I think I'll have to give you access. Could you share your screen on how to really set up this template. I want people to actually see a little demo of how it can
Yeah.
be done. Could you do that for me?
Yeah, let me pull that up.
Let me see if I
I'll
can,
pull up an example
could you share
really
your
quick.
screen? Do you have that access?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to pull up one of our recent options, what things that we did for a client, so you can see
Yeah.
it.
So that people can have an idea, and if they need to hire you or work with you to get help, they can have a feel for what is expected.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So let me pull this up. Now I've got my screen up.
Mm-hmm.
It says host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Right. You see, so let me see. I will have to make you, where do I do that now? Let me come, participants. I'm going to make you the host. Yes, so you should be able to do that now.
All right. Here we go. Okay, so this is an example. This is how we start off. We start off with a Word document and we choose a day. So this is our Wednesday. It's our book recommendation Wednesday. And then we have chosen a different book to recommend each Wednesday. And what we've done here is we've put in a little description and then we've chosen a photo of the cover of this book. So these ones have already been finished. So they have hashtags and everything together. But I did leave a few in here as an example. So this is another one, randomized donor calls to action. This is for a nonprofit. And right here, we have this is for Tuesdays. And so we have a fact every Tuesday with a link to donate. And then what we've also done for this, because these were also posted on Instagram, we've created an image that has all this information on it as well. So this is just our list of those. And what we've done here, it says 6, and we've created 6. Now, that's not 52, but what we do is we actually repeat these every 6 weeks. We just keep repeating them because it's the same information, it's good information, and the person that's actually a part of your network right now and maybe on one of your social medias right now, they probably will never see it twice. And the new people that come in new 6 weeks from now, they've never seen it, so they may also be able to see it. So it's good to reuse it.
If they miss it this time, they will pick it up another time. So it's good to repeat the post. Yeah.
And then this one here is literary facts and studies, and we use these once because we had so many of them. And so these have just different facts and studies that they were done for this group.
I have a question, Elizabeth. You said you have images done for some of those things already. So when you create that post, so under book recommendations, you create a post, you have the image associated with the same text, or do you use an image and then the text below, or you use the text on the image?
Yeah, we do use an image separate. So sometimes we put the text on it, sometimes we don't. So I'll show you a couple of the ones that we've done. So here's an example of some of them. So these are ones that were used for a specific group, and then we would have writing that went with this as well. So it would go in the text of the post, and then we would have this as the image that would go for the post. And all of these were Giving Tuesday posts, and so we had different text for each one of these, but these were all of the images that we used. And see how they're all different, but they all have our logo here, and or some kind of symbol of our logo so that you know that it's us.
Yes. Now, which platform or platforms do you recommend? Because if you're scheduling out for the year, you want to sit down probably a couple of days for the week or whatever, if you want to spend a day doing it, which platforms you use to schedule it out? So it just automatically goes out to the Facebook, the LinkedIn, the Insta, the whatever.
So if you're not using Instagram, and Instagram is not one of your options, I use this Social Pilot program. I actually have a link to all these with a discount code. And that's on our website, beyondthecause.co/tools.
Yeah, well, share the website right away. I like that, since we're sharing screen.
But this has all of the tools that I use. So here's Social Pilot. This is one of the ones I use when I'm not using Instagram. And then I also use something called later.com. If I'm posting to Instagram, this is the one that I use.
And that, so that can push out for the year or 6 months or for as long as you want. Yes. And are these free? You have to pay for it. You know, when people are starting off, these
are paid.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, these are paid, but I definitely recommend it because for about $25 a month for each one, you just need one. You don't need both of them, so you'll just need one of them. But if you have about $25 a month, this is really what gives you that whole platform. You don't have to worry about it, and you can get 6 to 12 months in there. And if it only takes you a day or two, if you want to kind of spread it out a little bit, it could take you a day or two to do this whole thing. It's worth the money, very much worth the money to just do it and be done and like take it off your plate. The good thing about this is, let's say something comes up later and you're like, but I really want to share this, but I already have a post going out. With Facebook and all those other social platforms, the more is better. The more the merrier. So don't feel like this limits you to just posting what we've posted 6 months ago, but it does give you that, kind of that monkey off your back where you're not worrying about it. And if you have something exciting to post, you feel motivated to post it because you're not worrying about the other 10 posts that you didn't write last week.
No, look here, Elizabeth. I don't like social media. I'll do the occasional Facebook, and I'm speaking on behalf of everybody here because I'm representing the target audience, people who are listening to this. So I don't like social media. I don't want to sit down and do all of these things. I know what I want. I want how to represent my business. Should I outsource this, or could somebody be hired to do this thing for me? And what would be the going rate for something like that?
So I really recommend that people try and do this on their own because it isn't that difficult if you use the formula that I've laid out. And it gives you that savings in money that you can put towards the program that you use and get it done that way. But if you really do want help with it, having someone as a dedicated person to do this on a regular basis is sometimes difficult because when the fun things come up, the new things that you want to share, you're going to share them because you want to do it because it's exciting and new. But when it's the monotonous every day, this is the stuff we can put in that's in a schedule. So when I charge for this, I sit with someone for an entire day. We do 12 months all at once. I help them with all the graphics. We get everything done in one day, and I charge $1,800. That's roughly $150 a month. But most social media managers, if you're going to actually have someone that you're going to pay every month to just do this on a monthly basis, you're looking at paying between $500 to $1,000 a month for this type of a service.
Wow. Yeah. I see you have something on the screen. Explain that. That looks cute.
So this is the book that I was mentioning. And I have this for $27, and it does have a fillable calendar. So we were mentioning before that we have a calendar. So it's similar to this, and it has all the dates in it. And so you just fill in all of your stuff here, and it just makes it really easy to make your calendar really quickly so that you can create your schedule all the way. And it also has my book, which right here on this page, you can kind of see it, has all of the demographics of what social medias that and who is on them, how long their half-lives are, and also a little bit more information about every single social media, including Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and they're all on there. And so you can actually see which social medias you should be on based on your demographics.
Could you hop over to Amazon since you're sharing and let us see your book so that we know where to get it, or even on your website, whichever one is easier?
Yeah, this is where you would get it. This is where you would get it here.
Oh, because you're on your website, right? Yeah.
This is where I sell it. I don't have it anywhere else. It's just here.
Oh, so this is it then. So this is the book. Okay.
And it comes with the fillable guide, the fillable posting planner. So you can actually, it's like it has a tool with it. So it's like a toolkit. It's the book, and it has the actual calendar that you can use for your posts.
What sort of target audience do you have? Do you find you have persons who, what's it with I'm trying to put the question together, the greater percentage of persons that you serve? Is it people like me who don't like social media and don't want to do it? What kind of people are you serving?
Usually it's part of that. So partly people who don't like it and they just want to get it done and just be over there, like don't even bother me. But then there's other people who just don't know what to do with it, or people who are overwhelmed by it. I had a client come to me the other day, and she just said that she was spending 2 to 3 hours a day worrying about her posts and wondering what she should post. And then ultimately only getting up 1 or 2 things a week because she was so overwhelmed by everything, and also doing her own work as well. So I tried.
That is it. I don't want to be taken on the monsters of social media. I I have other things to focus on.
Right,
especially
exactly. So,
especially when you're a solopreneur and you're
yes.
doing everything, you really don't want to be speaking to social media, the monsters of social media. You don't,
And
right?
this is just a good way to give you that foundational layer. So
Mm,
like I said, if something comes up and you're excited to share it, you can write a quick post and
mm,
it takes you 5 minutes and you're done, you're off and running. But if it's you're having to do this every single day or sit down once a week so that you can plan next week or next month, it
mm.
can be very overwhelming just because you have to make the time and sit down. But this really gives you, I'm going to sit down, it's going to take me one day, and you can really focus on it. That's the other thing that happens is when we do this once a week, once a month, or something like that, and we do it in shorter increments, we don't really give ourselves enough time to focus on it. It takes a good hour to an hour and a half because I literally do this in an 8-hour block. We sit down together for 8 hours. And so in the first 2 hours, people are a little antsy. They're a little like looking around, and then once they kind of get into the zone and
Mhm.
their brain realizes, wait, I don't have to think about anything else except one thing right now,
Yeah,
then it just goes into hyper mode and they can just
yeah,
go through so many
yeah,
posts, and at the end of the day they're exhausted. Trust me, I'm exhausted.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it does give you that time to focus where you're like, I'm going to set aside one day, and when your brain gets on board and your brain's like, wow, I can do this, then
Mm.
it's just so easy from there.
A couple of questions. One, how would you know for somebody who wants to use social media, but they don't know what to post, ideas to come up with? What would you say to them?
I would say work with a coach for about an hour. So I do coaching with people and I just help them come up with all the ideas, and then they can go and find all the posts and create the posts, because coming up with the ideas is usually the hardest part. It usually takes the first couple hours of our time together when I do a whole session.
Hmm.
And I can come up with the ideas really fast because I'm from the outside and I can see into the business much
Right.
clearer than someone who's in the business can see it themselves.
Hmm.
So if you're really struggling and you don't have the money to maybe pay for someone to help you with this whole project, at
Hmm.
least pay like for a coach for 1 hour maybe, and say, I need you to help me brainstorm these ideas. And they can maybe help you come up with a plan and a strategy. And then
Hmm.
all you have to do is actually go and take your day and execute that plan and strategy. But at least you had someone come in and look from the outside and go, oh, what about this? And you go, wow, that's a great idea, because it's just from the outside looking in.
How can they schedule that consultation? Can you show us where they can go to do that?
Yeah, so you can actually do that through my website here. So there's a
Hmm.
contact button,
Hmm.
and we have our discovery sessions, or you can also just message me and let me know, what it is you're interested in, and maybe I can help you out and we can discuss it and then book a call from there.
One final question before we round up. The main thing about using social media, digital marketing, is to really know your conversions. You don't want to be posting all these things and you don't get clients or building your list or generating sales or anything like that, because you're
Yeah.
looking at different platforms with the analytics. How would you, because we're talking different phases here. Coming up with the ideas is one thing. Then when you come up with the ideas, you have to sit down and plan the post. Then I see you use Canva, which is a platform I use to
Yeah.
create the imagery and put all the things, and then come up with the appropriate hashtags and all of that. So you're talking all of that. And then when you post it, you're like, okay, it's gone. I sat down for one day or a couple of days and I did this for the entire year. I don't have to worry about it. But oops, I have to make sure that it's converting. How do I know it's converting? Is it converting in the way
So
I want it to convert? How do you, as an entrepreneur, use that as a strategic tool to be able to make financial and business decisions? Because to me, that's what it is about. And if something isn't serving me in that way, then it makes no sense.
So I look at this a little differently, and it's not necessarily a very popular opinion, but it does work very well. So there are different levels of how you get return on investments.
Right?
And for social media, and it's just the way that it is, they have so many algorithms that hold back your information from the people who need to see it until you pay them, and then that's almost pointless, because then they have other algorithms that even hold it back even after you pay. So the way that I look at social media is more of an awareness thing. It's more of an investment rather than something you're going to definitely see ROI on. Now, if you're running a social media group, like a Facebook group, and you're putting a lot of time into that, and you're doing lives, and you're doing a little something different, that's where you can really see ROI. That's going to be monetary, and you're going to see the conversions. But when you're just posting on your page, this is more for, hey, I'm here. Hey, today I posted. Hey, I'm here. Meaning that you're still open. You're still running as a business.
Right.
You are still, around, and people do
Keeping
see
top
you
of
in their
mind.
feed.
Keeping top of
Exactly.
mind.
So
Yeah.
this is something that I don't put any conversion amounts on at all, or any kind of ROI on, because it is so picky how they control what we're able to do with it, that I use it because it's a great tool, but I never really put on it where I can say I'm getting this much money back from it and all that. I'm using it as an investment tool, which is why I invest a little bit, and I try to just say one and done, right? But then if I'm doing something else, like my email campaigns where I'm asking for that sale, or those kind of things, I look at it a little more closely because I have more control over them. Even like a Facebook group, I have more control over that as well, where every person will see every post. So it just depends on how diverse your marketing is. This is really your awareness piece, your awareness funnel. And then you funnel them into your Facebook group where you're actually asking for that sale and making those connections, or to your email group, your email sequencing where you're asking for that sale, or to your website where you're putting a blog and they're reading it and you're asking for that sale. So this is really that very top of that funnel that really doesn't give you a lot of ROI because the algorithms are so specific. And we don't want to worry about those. We want to just say, you do you, Facebook, I'm going to do me, and I'm going to use you as a tool, but not really worry about all the crap you're trying to do.
Yeah. The reason why I brought that up about the ROI is because people are investing money. And once you invest in money, you want a return on investment. And some people don't think, I plant the seed today to be able to bear fruit. And that fruit may not necessarily be a financial fruit. It may be that people are aware, somebody from in there who recognize that you're doing something may put you on to somebody else that they know that can bring in the money. So it may not be, that high. You have to shift your thinking when it comes to certain types of marketing strategies, because like some people want guaranteed results. I've had people come to me and it's like they want to be known out there and they want guaranteed sales. I'm like, sorry, you're talking to the wrong person. I cannot guarantee you sales. There's nobody on the planet that can guarantee you sales. And I'll be very wary of anybody who says such a thing to you. So I am not the person for you. If you're looking for sales, that is not me. I am here to get awareness. I can assist you with this and that, but I cannot tell you that you're going to get $10,000 at the end of the month or whatever it is, and these people are going to buy it for sure. I have no control over that. Yeah. And it is so funny that they would think that because if I could do it, why can't they do it and get the same $10,000 without me? So it clearly shows it is not possible. It is not possible. If you can't do it for yourself and you're looking for somebody to help you, why do you think I could do the impossible and you can't?
Well, and that's why I like this system so much, because it just strips it down to what it really is. We're not worried about, being, having that $10,000 come in or being number one on Google. It's not about that. This is about actual awareness where people are actually seeing what you're posting. And I actually did an experiment last year where in 2019, at the beginning of the year, I turned off all of my social media accounts for about 6 months, and no one said a word to me. But when I turned them back on and I started back with this process, I got all these messages from people saying, oh, we're so glad you're back. We thought something happened to you. Are you doing okay? And I thought, wait a minute. I didn't hear boo for 6 months thinking it didn't really matter what I did on social media. And that was my experiment. Did it really matter? But when I turned it back on and I started pushing out the same stuff I was doing before, people were like, oh, thank goodness. And I got that feedback. I was like, wow, it is working. So
people are actually seeing, even if you don't see the engagements or the follow through or the taking action, they are seeing, but they're just not taking action.
And they were taking action in roundabout ways. Like you said, they were telling a friend or forwarding something, or so So, and they were reading things.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what leads to touch 1, touch 2, touch 3, touch 4.
Right.
And they may have been in touch 4 when I turned everything off,
That's
know?
right.
So
Yes, I know I had said a final question before, but here's one. The thing with social media is, as the word suggests, social. You need to socialize. And some people may set up this thing and say, okay, I do it and leave it. And that is exactly what they do. They leave it. And people are engaging, asking questions, and you're not responding. You have to engage. And it is not just a matter of engaging with your post, in my opinion. It is to also interact with others in the same space to develop relationships, because we're talking awareness, to develop relationships and connections and possible collaborations. And it's not only even in your space, and it's competitors as well as complementary services that can work together with you.
yeah.
Any final
Absolutely.
thoughts on that before we go?
Yes, I go into my Facebook account every day, once or twice a day, and I actually scroll through the feed, and I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, all different types, like you said, adjacent services, services just like mine,
Right.
and I just answer questions. I just answer questions for like 2
Right.
hours, just answering. And then I also see where people have commented on posts that I've made, whether it was in a group or on my own page, and
Right.
I re-engage with them as well. So I'll go and like what they've commented, I'll reply to their comments. So I am still using it, but I'm limiting how I'm using it to a certain amount per day.
Yeah.
And also it's a task, almost just like running my payroll or,
right.
looking at my email. It's a
That's
task.
right.
It's not this monster that I'm trying to deal with on top of all the other stuff. So it just limits it because I'm not worrying about posting. I'm just worried about engaging, and that's all I have to deal with.
Spending time knowing people. You get the time to know and to build relationships.
Exactly. But I'm not having to sit there going, oh my gosh, what do I post today?
yeah, that's off your mind. That's off your mind. All you're doing now is making friends, getting to know.
The fun part.
The fun part, which is the part I like. Elizabeth, can you stop sharing so I can see you on the screen now? Wonderful. And let me see now. I'm going to take back the host. Let me see if I can do that. Elizabeth, I think you have to make me the host.
Okay.
Because you have the controls now.
There we go.
Beautiful. Right. So this has been a wonderful conversation. I mean, we were rambling on and on nonstop. This is this is good. Is there any final words you want to share?
I think that's it. And if anybody wants to look at all the tools that I use, there's lots of them. I have lots of discounts that I get from my suppliers. So you can go to beyondthecause.co/tools and get all that. And my book is there as well.
Nice. That's a great way to round it up. And I think everybody got a lot of juicy details just from this. Well, I think we went a little beyond time, but from this conversation. And this has been really good, especially now, like I said in the beginning, to help businesses to kind of come back, to get out there and build back, and to be able to understand. If they didn't understand before, they clearly have at least a startup understanding now. And if they want to know more, they can clearly touch you to get to know more and to understand. If they don't want to do it themselves, well, Elizabeth is there. Not me. I said Elizabeth. Okay?
Well,
so
thank you so much for having me on today.
Yes, and it's been a pleasure having you, Elizabeth. You have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.